Hey guys, welcome to Island 2. Go ahead and grab yourself Sadia and make sure you set her on strong. I believe I forgot to set her on strong, and then you're going to go ahead and just place a ninja on here just to kind of start out, and go ahead and put the ninja on strong as well too. When you place this spike out, don't place it too far to the left, because if you go too smart, it will go towards the back exit. So kind of place in the middle where it's out of reach there. Mark it on close once you get this, and you're going to make this a 032 on here. When the boss comes, leave it on close, but then as it goes away, go ahead and mark it on smart on here. You're going to also place a druid in the left-hand corner, but we're not going to upgrade him yet. And we are going to go ahead and place one more spike. So we want to try to get 2 of these spikes as mob shredders first before we upgrade our druid, so we can start getting the damage done. So as soon as you get that other mob shredder, go ahead and upgrade your druid to a 130. We will upgrade that druid further, but ultimately we want to get as many mob shredders out to begin with before we upgrade the druid. And then you're going to place one more mob shredder, and then we're going to have to upgrade the druid for added defense on here. So you should be able to get 4 mob shredders total out here. Just make sure you go from close to smart on here. Once you get that 4th one, upgrade to Jungle's Bounty on here for your druid, and then go back to spamming mob shredders on here. You can kind of mark these on smart as the boss goes around. That one I messed up on. All of these should be mob shredders, so all of these should be 0, 2, 3, or 0, 3, 2s on here. And you're going to want to spam as many as possible, pretty much until the balloons are leaking so much that we're going to have to sell and then upgrade our druid to a T5. While I'm placing these mob shredders, remember with this boss is the boss that's going to spit out a ton of balloons as each round goes, and mobs eventually as well too. So we definitely want to make sure we have a lot of defense on here. But basically around this first loop, all we're going to be doing is doing a bunch of mob shredders on here, and you will know when you need to upgrade to the druid of the forest, because the balloons are just going to get so overwhelming. But until then, we want to keep adding as much defense as possible. So keep spamming the mob shredders on here all the way around on here. You can, like I said, go and change them from close to smart. So just kind of keep an eye of where the spikes are to maximize the damage to the mob on here. And then once we get to the point where the balloons are overwhelming, we will have to sell the majority of these spikes to upgrade. So you're going to see me sell a lot of these spikes. Make sure you do it quick. And then you're going to need 35,000 to go ahead and upgrade to the Druid of the Forest. As soon as you upgrade to the Druid of the Forest, immediately start building your mob shredders back and just keep spamming these. This is going to be the major of our damage to start out on here. So just keep going to go ahead and spam those. Once you get a good portion out, kind of going around the map, what we're also going to add is a village, and we're going to put it near the druid, and then you'll see me place some additional towers there. On that village, we're going to make it a 104 on there. It's going to maximize we'll get more money per pops on there, so that's why we're going to do that. And with that druid of the forest, it's constantly popping balloons, so we're going to help generate income more quickly, and that's why we're doing that. So continue spamming these mob shredders, but eventually what we're going to do after we spam a bunch of these mob shredders is we're going to go ahead and do a T5, and we're going to make it a 250 on here. After we get our T5 here, I'm going to spam just a few more mob shredders on here, but I am going to switch, and I'm going to do a T5 plane on here. So you're going to see me place the plane, and I'm going to put it kind of in range of where that village is on here. So you'll see me go ahead and place that plane. And then when you place this, we're going to make this a T5. So we're going to make it a 502 on here for that plane. So if you need to sell some of the mob shredders in the back, go ahead and sell those, because they're no longer going to be damaging the ball. So we can go ahead and upgrade that T5. I am then going to sell all of the mob shredders that have passed here, and I'm going to go ahead and throw out a village. We're going to make this a 240 on here, so we're going to put a lot of towers in here and use the ability of of the village. So first we're going to start out with a T5 ninja, and it's going to be a 205 on here when we create that T5 ninja. And just remember to always use the village's ability. So the monkeys that are in radius are going to pop and up the damage on there, and that village is really going to help. So after you do your T5 Ninja, we're going to kind of rotate back to the Mob Shredders on here, and you can just mark these on close and then mark them on smart on there, pending where the placement is on here. We are going to start working on a T5 boat. Try to put it in range of that village that we placed on there. When I do this, I'm going to start out with a 420 on there and then eventually upgrade it to a T5. But where the boss is right now in the loop, using the Mob Shredder is still a good strategy, and there will be a lot of damage, so it's good to kind of use it while it's still in this loop on here. So that's why I'm not upgrading it to a T5 right away and continuing with the Mob Shredders on here. But eventually it is going to turn into a T5. But until then, just kind of keep spamming these Mob Shredders. Once the boss kind of loops around, then we'll go ahead and upgrade to that T5 boat on there and make it a 520 on there. So continue doing those after we upgrade to a T5, or as if the Mob Shredders are no longer in range or benefiting, you can sell those as well too in the back on there. This one can be a little tedious on there, but go ahead and you can sell some of those if you need to upgrade to your T5 on there, and that's exactly what I did there. So now that we have our T5 boat out, we're going to do two T5 snipers. The first one is going to be the Elite Defender. So it's going to be crossed path as a 205. Make sure you put it in range of your village and mark it on strong so it's targeting the boss at all times. And then our second sniper in range of the village again, marked on strong, 502 on there. And then once we get this last T5 sniper here is this 502, we're going to go ahead and start on a T5 spike, and we're going to do the top path T5 spike on here. I kind of put it in the left-hand loop because we're going to need time to save up the money, and then we're going to kind of sell just a little bit so we have enough when it hits those spikes on there. So it is going to be a 502 on there and mark it on close. On here, you can kind of fast forward, just make sure you're using your abilities as those are going, but basically I'm kind of saving up for this. You do want to make sure that you have your T5 created once the boss gets to those spikes so they can start hitting that damage on there. So if you don't have enough, you can just go ahead and sell a few towers if you need to. So I went ahead and you're going to see me just sell just a little bit in order to create the T5 spike there. So I did go ahead and sell the Ninja, and then I sold the Elite Defender, and then I had enough on there. So go ahead and do that. Now that we have our T5 spike, I'm also going to go ahead and throw down a helicopter. It's going to be a 240. This helicopter is strictly just to move our T5 spike as the boss moves on there. So once it refreshes, if you need to move your spike, just make sure you're doing that so it's targeting the boss on here. And then also remember you can move your spike from strong or from close to smart. The next thing is try to get it in range of your village and close to as many towers as possible. We're going to do a T5 Alchemist to boost all of the towers, and especially with boosting on that village, it's really going to maximize our damage. So it's going to be a 520 on here, and that Alchemist, that Permabrew, is going to stay on each tower once it hits it. So then once you're using your village ability, it's really going to help with the damage on there. So very important. You don't have to if you don't want to, but I highly suggest it. So then now that we have our Alchemist T5, I'm going to throw it in range of the village if you can. A Sun Avatar, it's going to be a 320 marked on strong. If the pink mobs come out, you can just mark it on first just to kind of help with the balloon cleanup if you need to. But after we make the Sun Avatar, I am going to rotate because we are going to do another T5 plane or helicopter plane. I apologize. We're going to do a T5 plane. Try to do it in range of your village on here. And when we do this, we're going to do a 205 on here. It would actually be good. My placement's not that great. It'd be great if you placed it within range of the village, but it within range of the alchemist, so it boosts it. So you could put it in that loop. I would highly suggest better placement than what I did on here. If you and then if you need to, sell the sun avatar to create the flying fortress, because that's going to do more damage. And then I am also going to rebuild my T5 sniper that I had to sell to create the T5 spike on there. So you're going to see me go ahead and rebuild the elite defender, mark it as 205 on there when you're doing that. And then don't forget to move your T5 spike when available and using your abilities as well too. Once you get that T5 sniper out, then all I did towards the end is create sun avatars and make them 320 on here, and just kind of place them all around towards the back end. Make sure as the boss moves, you move that spike towards the very back as well to help with balloon cleanup, and then using your village ability as well too to help. And then just keep creating the sun avatars as it gets towards the end just to kind of help on there. That is it on this strategy. This is going to get you 100 on here. I apologize if I don't get through all the islands. We're going through a team realignment. If you do want to join, I have 3 spots, and you can join our boss rush for this event as well too if you would like. But truly appreciate you guys. Make sure you drop a like and subscribe if you haven't, and thank you guys. See you hopefully for Island 3.